It is time for Owning Your Outdoors, and today we're going to talk about planting trees in the Boulevard, or Sioux Falls likes to call it the parking strip. And there are an incredible number of rules and things you need to follow and do if you want to plant a tree in the Boulevard. Doug Schroeder from Lewis is here, our expert. Doug, if you're going to plant a tree in this space, what's the first thing you want to do?
First thing you want to do is have your utilities marked. Call 811 and get everything marked. First thing to do is be safe.
So there are a lot of different rules and regulations and measurements and things that you need to follow if you do want to plant a tree here.
Yes. A number of them are just the type of tree. A lot of the trees will not make it in the atmosphere or the climate of a parking strip. There's salt thrown on the street. It's a little bit drier at times. So they pick out varieties that'll work well in that parking strip.
After you get everything marked off, there are still a lot of rules as to where you can place it.
Yes, definitely. The number of guidelines that cities have put in place, you should be about 30 feet from the corner.
And that's about where we are right here from this corner.
I've measured it out.
And that's from a street corner, right? Not a driveway.
Right, exactly. Driveways, the measurement is 10 feet. Some other measurements that are very important to keep in mind is you need to be at least 20 feet from a fire hydrant and 15 feet from a light pole.
Okay. And what about width? It's supposed to have
It's 5 feet.
5 feet? So if your boulevard or parking strip isn't 5 feet wide, you can't put a tree there.
No, it has to be at least 5 feet. So with those things in mind, you need to measure it out and see if planting a tree in the boulevard will work for you. Just as important as distances are varieties.
Yeah, what types of trees work best?
There's a number of maples. I have some varieties listed. There's lindens, which we've talked about.
Yeah.
One of my favorites. There's locusts, and also what we have here today is a bur oak. And those are all good parking strip trees. They will survive. Another important thing is a tree needs to be 1 inch in diameter. It needs to have some width to it. You can't just go find a sapling somewhere and put it in the boulevard. That is forbidden. So just a lot of things to keep in mind.
And Doug, you have a nice big bag of mulch down there, and that's important.
It's very important with the weather that we've had. You can plant a tree in the heat as long as you keep moisture to it, and it's great to apply a couple inch thick layer of a good cypress mulch or just a good quality mulch. Remember to keep the mulch at least an inch away from the trunk of the tree. You don't want it touching the trunk itself.
You actually have a couple of really good charts. One that basically spells out for you where you can and can't put your trees. Another one that is a list that the city of Sioux Falls has of trees that are boulevard friendly and allowed in the parking strips, and also an instruction guide as to what you need to do if you want to plant a tree.
Right. These trees that Sioux Falls has selected are a good guideline for any town in our region.
If you want these downloads with the list of trees, all the rules and measurements that you need to follow, and some instructions on how to plant your tree, just go to ksfy.com, click Sean and Cammie, and then Owning Your Outdoors. You can find it all there, a nifty little download that you can fold up and keep in your pocket while you're doing your work.
Thanks, Sean.
Thanks, Doug. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with Fastcast right after this.